At number one, there's a new team. Darren Waller shines in return to the NFL. The Colts are real. Who will be the Giants' new receiver one? And the Chiefs are back. Starting off with Monday Night Football, Darren Waller, tight end of the Miami Dolphins, shines in his debut with Miami. They also lost Tyreek Hill, but they get a tight end in Waller. The Jets' mistakes cost them the game. Braylon Allen fumbling around the goal line, end zone, and Garrett Wilson getting called for a push-off and the touchdown not counting. If those two would have scored, Jets would have won by 8. The Jets lose to the Dolphins, and I thought they were going to destroy them. An upset, and I was wrong. The Jets are going to be one of the two worst teams along with the Titans. If Miami didn't lose, I think they could have made a run, which they didn't lose. Or they did lose, sorry. And Tua went 17 of 25 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. His opponent, Justin Fields, threw 27 passes, completing 20 for 226 yards, 1 touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. At least to me, my favorite team to dislike, the Chiefs are back. I picked the Ravens, and I did because of Derrick Henry, but the team lost people. Chiefs had Xavier Worthy back. Can't count the Chiefs out, and how did I forget about that? Their defense is consistent, I'd say. They have some of the same household names they've had for a while and are consistent. Worthy had 2 rushes for 38 yards. He had a reception, or 5 receptions, for 83 yards. I was talking to a friend, and Worthy changes things. Everyone says he's their deep threat, which is true. And not only that, but he is quick, and you have to cover him, along with Kelsey, Kareem Hunt, who I think is a bigger, stronger back, and physical, while Pacheco is the quick back. And Mahomes, who can pass in the pocket or scramble and also make plays, as we all know. I said their offensive line, they lost their blind side in Joe Thuney to the Bears. So that was their question mark, but the Chiefs have been doing it, and against the Ravens, they went off. Mahomes went 25 of 37 for 270 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now let's move on to a team in the other conference, NFC, that I've decided they're inconsistent. It is the Atlanta Falcons. They got blown out by division rival, the Carolina Panthers, 30-0. And then they decide to beat the Washington Commanders by a touchdown. They were beating them pretty badly and then only won by a touchdown. Granted, I figured they would try after losing, and the Commanders are without a few of their players and quarterback and receivers. And the Panthers got blown out by New England. The Falcons almost let Washington come back. And as I mentioned, yes, Washington's out with a few of their players. I picked Washington, and I should have picked Atlanta. Like I said, I had a feeling they were going to try and should have went with my gut. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. completed 20 of 26 passes for 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Falcons receiver and running back each had over 100 receiving yards at 110 and 106. While the Commanders quarterback Mariota had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception as well, 156 yards from 16 completions out of 27 passes. Staying in the NFC and in the same division, NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers almost came back to beat the defending Super Bowl champions. Tampa has grit, that's no doubt. They were being destroyed by Philly before coming back and almost having a chance to tie the game or win it. The surprising part is doing it without Evans because of injuries, and Baker did play even though, according to Buccaneers.com, had a bicep injury. Stay tuned when I come back from this break. I'll reveal the new number 1 and which team that lost that moved up into the top 10 of the rankings, plus. Is the Ravens season done? Alright, welcome back to the Corbin Report, everyone. Thanks for listening. Now let's go over the new top 10 of the rankings. Starting at number 10, this team did lose, and it was a close fight. They could have won, but yet they still moved up into the top 10 in the rankings at number 10. And, to me, they proved they're legitimate. It is the Indianapolis Colts moving up 4, even with a loss, at number 10. And then a team that lost, moved down quite a bit to number 9, are the Chargers. They moved down 7. At number 8, moving down 4, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still staying in the top 10 like LA. At number 7, as much as I don't like putting this team here, just prove that, they're back. Moving up 6, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving up 6, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at 6. And in the top 5, I have a new team and new number 1. Moving up 5, at number 5, it is the LA Rams hanging on to beat the Colts. At number 4, moving up 5, it's the Seattle Seahawks. At number 3, moving down from the number 1 spot, moving down 2 spots, it's the Buffalo Bills. The reason they're still not number 1 is they played the Saints, who I think are one of the worst teams, or was, but the thing is, the Saints can put up points, and the Bills only won by 12. At number 2, moving up 1, it is the Eagles. Yes, they almost let Tampa Bay come back and win, but as everyone keeps saying, it is true, the Eagles keep finding ways to win, and they won. And at number 1, moving up 5, at the new number 1 spot, it is the Detroit Lions, moving up 5 spots to number 1. Now let's go back to the AFC, and let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Is their season done now? According to NFL.com, Lamar Jackson is hurt with hamstring injury. I could not find anything to say if he's out for the next game or when he's back, or if he is out or if he's not out. Just know he's hurt with a hamstring injury. They did lose Marlon Humphrey and Roquan Smith, 2 good defensive players. They also lost another defensive player for this season, and Matabuke. Next week they play the Houston Texans, who got their first win against the Titans, who are the worst team to me. I would have picked the Ravens because they still have Derrick Henry, but I'm debating on picking Houston because the Ravens losing people on defense. To make it more complicated, the Texans' offensive line is a struggle, and they traded away one of their linemen to another team. Stay tuned to find out who. So this game could be a game that's close and low scoring. The Texans' defense, we know, is good. Now, going back to the NFC, let's go with the Giants, who have a bright future, and they, with their upset against the Los Angeles Chargers. But, sadly, they lose their wide receiver 1 and Malik Neighbors. In my last episode, I titled it Giants Dart Looked Hit the Bullseye. Did they hit it early? The new number 1 receiver, I can see it being Darius Slayton, as they lost Neighbors to a torn ACL, says NFL.com. They play the Jets next, who are looking for their first win of the season, and struggled against Miami. The Jets' offense is okay, but their defense needs help. Dart did look good passing, as before starting, he would play in the game handing the ball off, He didn't throw a lot of yards. But you don't have to when you have a running back who is hard to take down and is quick and physical. To me, usually running backs are quick or physical, but Cam Scatterboo is both. Jackson Dart threw for 111 yards, completing 13 passes out of 20. Running back Cam Scatterboo ran for 79 yards off of 25 carries. Dart even rushed 10 times for 54 yards. He had a rushing and a passing touchdown. Herbert, his opponent of the Chargers, threw for 203 yards, completing 23 passes out of 41 attempts for 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. I'd say that is one of not the difference maker of the game. Chargers lose another offensive lineman. Joe Alt has a high ankle sprain and will miss some weeks. They already lost Rashawn Slater, and hopefully Alt can return because, like the Cowboys, their offensive line is one of their strong suits, but the difference is not their only strength. They also have a quarterback, running back, receivers, and a defense. Okay, speaking of Cowboys, what happened with the Cowboys-Packers? How did the Cowboys not get blown out with no offensive line? Dallas O-line is injured, yet they avoided a blowout from Green Bay, and they even avoided a loss. They tied the game. It went to overtime, and the Packers kicked a game-tying field goal to end in a tie. The last time a game ended in a tie was in 2022 with 2 NFC teams, and actually both in NFC East, in the Redskins and Giants, tying 20-20. Dak Prescott and Jordan Love both went off, throwing for over 300 yards each. Dak completed 31 passes of 40 attempts for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Love completed 31 passes of 40 attempts, or 43 attempts, for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns. It was an offensive attack. I just don't know how the Cowboys avoided a blowout with no defense. Well, I do hear Deron Bland's name from the announcer, and he was playing, so him and Diggs, to me, are their best players on defense. And yes, another Kenny Clark, so they have 3. So they have some household names. But with O-line being hurt, that's where I'm shocked. Their offense is better than their defense. And their offense is good when at full strength. Something I'd learned is 49ers are better when injured. Difference in the game against the Jaguars is special teams. It would have been a tied game, but the Jaguars returned a punt for a touchdown to go up 26-20. Funny story, I almost picked the Jags and switched to the Niners. I should have stuck with my gut. Brock Purdy went off in a loss, throwing for 309 yards, completing 22 passes from 38 attempts. 2 touchdowns, but also threw 2 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey was more effective in the pass game than the rush game, having 92 receiving yards, 1 touchdown off of 6 receptions. That's quite a bit, almost 100 yards off of 6 receptions. In the rushing game, he had 27 carries for 49 yards. The Jaguars didn't do much looking at stats. It's almost like the Eagles. They did enough to win. Trevor Lawrence threw for 174 yards, completing 21 passes of 31 attempts for 1 touchdown. Running back Travis Etienne rushed for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, this team has been the talk all season. Yes, they lost, but it looks like they'll continue to keep being the talk of the season. It's the Indianapolis Colts, and yes, they are real. When I say real, I mean legitimate. I keep saying their offensive line is the question mark. After losing 2 of them to the Vikings, the only household offensive lineman that I know is Quentin Nelson, but the other linemen they have proved Indiana is real. Yes, they lost their Rams, but it was by 1 touchdown and it was a close game. The Colts could have won and probably should have won, and that's a bold statement, I know. To me, this shows me they are real. They already have Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, and company at receivers who are helping Daniel Jones out and vice versa. And their defense, well, is doing just fine. Okay, my rankings, the Colts moved up even with a loss, which to me, that is weird or rare. But they lost to the Rams, who I think are one of the top teams in the league, who should have beat the defending Super Bowl champions. Perhaps the Colts are going to win the AFC South this year and not the Texans. Talking about real and good teams, I think the Lions might be the best team in football right now, while the Titans might be the worst team. The Saints may be a worse team too, but the difference is they can put up points with anyone. They played the Bills, another top team to me, and only lost by 12. They're one of the 3 teams with no wins, and the Saints being one of them, then the Titans and Jets. Oh, excuse me. And there's 2 teams left undefeated in the Bills and Eagles. Could the Bills and Eagles meet in the Super Bowl? Here's the trade I was talking about earlier with the Texans. They're already down offensive lineman. They got their first win. Then they trade their offensive lineman Cam Robinson to the Browns for a pick. Dumb by them. Smart by the Browns. And I didn't write this in my notes or my script, whatever you want to call it. Ravens are hurt. Steelers are the top in the team in the AFC North. Bengals, who knows what's going to happen? Could the Browns end up getting second and maybe them make a run in the playoffs? Which is crazy to think about. I do like their rookie running back, Junkins, and I know they have another one in Sampson. Joe Flacco, veteran quarterback. Jerry Jeudy, receiver. Myles Garrett on defense. Denzel Ward. They got rookie Mason Graham. So, we'll see what happens. And for the Raiders game, I didn't see the game, but what happened? They lost on a blocked field goal. Running back Ashton Jeanty went off. Also, according to NFL.com, he set a record. He became the youngest player with 3 touchdowns in a game since, guess who? The defending Super Bowl champion, Saquon Barkley. Jeanty is 21 years old and 300 days. Jeanty had 22 rushes for 136 yards and a touchdown, and even got involved in the passing game, having 2 receptions for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another record breaker is someone who was a Super Bowl champion in Patrick Mahomes, becoming the youngest quarterback to throw for 250 career touchdowns, according to an article from NFL.com. Also, injuries keep happening at the end of the season. It comes down to who is not only the best team, but the best team that is healthy. You can be the best team now, but if not healthy, it's a lot harder to win a championship, I'd say. Thanks for listening. If there's anything else you'd like to listen to, ask questions about, feel free to comment. Follow the Corbin Report on YouTube. Subscribe to Spotify, YouTube. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I'm also thinking in one of my future episodes talking about are running backs back in football. Especially a lot of the rookie running backs this year are all pretty good. And I've seen them. A lot of our quick, tough, physical, one or the other or both. Thanks for listening. Talk to you all next time.